Welcome back to the league that means nothing on Go Again Gaming.
So hello, welcome back to Go Again Gaming. My name is Az, and you're watching another League That Means Nothing video here today. We are now in round 4, and I've got a game for you today between Liam Blakeman on Gravy and Trey Herring on Fi. Fi is known to go extremely wide with a lot of attacks, so this could be a relevant matchup that we might see a lot of going forward. Fi has been quite a popular hero in this go-around for the League That Means Nothing, probably because it's just a nice, easy deck to play, lots of go again, lots of big hand-dumping moments. Gravy, on the other hand, is obviously coming out of High Seas. Not a new hero anymore to a certain degree, with obviously the Mastery Pack Guardian and everything else coming around the corner, and Super Slam, which we're very much looking forward to. But Gravy's still at the top of the meta game. A lot of people love this deck, and rightly so. It's very, very value-orientated with all the allies and stuff. So should be fun. But before we go into it, let's hear a message from one of our sponsors for the league. Today's sponsor for the League That Means Nothing is a returning one in My Metal Cards. Based out of Malaysia, they produce tokens and markers that are made out of metal. All proceeds that they get are used for giveaways, events like this one, creators and artists. You can use the promo code Let's Play TLTMN4 to get 5% off store-wide with any order of 3 cards or above, getting this added TLTMN Syndra exclusive for free. That's Let's Play TLTMN4 to get 5% off store-wide with any order of 3 cards or above, getting this TLTMN Syndra exclusive added for free. Thank you very much to My Metal Cards. Make sure you go and check them out. So here we go. Liam Blakeman versus Trey Herring on table 22 of the league. So a mid sort of level table. I don't know of the precise record. I'm not doing the research on that this time around. But yeah, table 22. So somewhere in the middle. Probably at this point, round 4, maybe 1-2. So maybe one win and 2 losses for both of these players. Probably something around that. Again, apologies for some of the webcam quality on this league. It's hard to control the input of the webcam, but hopefully we're going to be commentating it through good enough for you. So we are starting with a Chart the High Seas here. Looking at the top 2 cards of the deck, it looks like we're pitching a Portside Exchange off of that reveal. Not quite sure about the if a yellow was found there. Probably, I think it looks like a Loot the Hold or Loot the Something, which has gone into the bin there. But we are going to have a gold starting off nonetheless. Looks like we've got the Crown of Dominion in the top right corner, top left corner there. But we are going to be using the compass to have a look at the top card and come in with a Conqueror of the High Seas. And this is coming in for 8 with Go Again by the looks of it. So he's pitched another card of some description down there, coming in for 8 with Go Again. It's going to be cleanly blocked by Trey, which we can see a Spreading Flames on the top there, Display Loyalty, and Brand of Cinderclaw. So that's 8 in total, I believe. Looks like we are going to be covering that fully. Oh no, sorry, we are taking some damage. I completely forgot that a lot of the Draconic cards only block for 2. Which makes sense, because we do just want to go face as much as we can with Draconic heroes in general, right? So we are seeing an Arsenal pass from Liam. Conqueror on the first turn, leaking a little bit of damage, but not getting the full effect, not utilising the Go Again or Arsenal Destruction effects. So I think Trey is going to be happy to see one of those go to the bin. But starting off with an Ignite here for 0, 2 Go Again. Obviously the next Draconic card you play or activate is going to cost 1 less. Liam's just going to take that damage to the face. Go down to 38 apiece here. As Trey continues the turn, we are going to see a hot Mounting Anger coming in. For what looks like hot on the heels with this. All Draconic cards look the same, let's be honest. But Mounting Anger coming in 4/4 with Go Again. And obviously if it hits, you can banish an attack action card of your hand. But before we hit, we are going to look at the compass. Or look at the top card of the deck with the compass. See if that crafts any new lines defensively or offensively, depending on what Liam's swing back might be. That's the thing with Gravy. You have to really think about all the lines that can be available to you on the offense or defense. We are just seeing a sink below being played here to prevent that damage cleanly. So no banish for Trey, but following on with another 4th of Go Again with this Blaze Headlong. Just a fantastic card. If you played another red beforehand, which Draconics definitely do, it's just a 0 for 4 with Go Again. Absolute staple. Bread and butter card for Draconic heroes in general. Coming in for 4 with Go Again, Liam is just going to be taking that one to the face. Going down to 34. Then we see a Phi activation here, so grabbing a Phoenix Flame from the graveyard. And coming in for 2. That's obviously getting the Shuko trigger as well on that. So obviously the Phoenix Flame gets the buff from the Draconic Chain Links and the buff from the Shuko here. So if you go extensively wide with Phi, you can just guarantee that 2 damage with those 2 cards there. Shuko and Phoenix Flame. But yeah, just going to be taking that to the face as well. As we Arsenal on pass for Trey, so setting up what could be a massive extending turn with that Arsenal card. We are going to see a Call to the Grave be played here. So obviously this is the blue starter that Gravy is looking for. Grabbing a card and chucking it into the graveyard. Looks like we're chucking a Whaler Humperdinck into the graveyard. The big Pirate ally, which swings for 11 damage. Huge numbers on this boy. Huge resource curve as well, but if we can get that established, it's going to take a few punches from Phi to take it out. But we are going to see a Limpet just come out of the graveyard here, which is the one that allows you to just attack and go again for 1 resource. Attack for 2, go again. And we are seeing the chart, the high Z's, putting, by the looks of it, 2 allies into the graveyard. And creating some gold. Yeah, so getting a load of gold payoff there. We are going to be activating Gravy Bones here to draw and discard. The amount of filtering you can do with Gravy is lovely. We are seeing the Dead Threads being activated here to get a resource because the ally was put into the graveyard, and then we are swinging with the Limpet for 2 with Go Again, which I'm sure Trey would be happy just to take to the face at this point. Life lead still established. Yep, taking that to the face. Does have Go Again, so we are playing out that Whaler Humperdinck now. So that is on board. It's got 7 life. So Trey is going to have to respect that, or just not respect it whatsoever and just pressure Liam's hand and hope that you can win the race as Phi. But this is obviously a 5-card hand from Phi now. Liam has given Trey a little bit of room to utilise all of these cards now with a 4 life differential. This could be a huge turn from Trey coming up here. Obviously, Liam is not sat on an arsenal either, committing all of the resources to Whaler Humperdinck, and Spreading Flames is the starting card to suggest that we are going to see a bunch of damage this turn. And we are going to rake over the coals as well. Wow, yeah, this is going to be quite the turn here. Draconic Instant. I haven't seen that card ever be played before. Draconic attacks get +1 this turn as an instant. So Spreading Flames coming in for 4. And that is going at Whaler. So Whaler is now on 3 life. So Trey is respecting that consistent form of chunky damage. And then here comes the Searing Emberblade. That's coming in for 4 as well, isn't it? Because it's a Draconic attack. Yeah. So that can clear the Whaler. So really putting use towards all of these extra buffs here. Being able to clear that Whaler with 1 card and a weapon is pretty good. Still got the Limpet hanging around. And we still got some cards in hand to play with after we've raked over the coals and spread the flames. Here comes a Rising Resentment. Coming in for 4. This is pretty good. Obviously, it's not getting the buff from Spreading Flames yet. It's still got the extra buff from the Rake Over the Coals, but the Spreading Flames will now start taking effect more after this attack. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. We are seeing a block with a Golden Tipple and taking some damage there from the Rising Resentment. Now, this is going to hit, so we can banish a card if we want to. But we're not going to by the looks of it. We are going to activate Phi to get our Phoenix Flame, which is going to come in for 3, right? No, we haven't played enough Shuko cards yet, I don't think. So it's coming in for... Oh, no, it is coming in for 3. I am mistaken, yet again. So yeah, coming in for 3. That isn't a Shuko, though. It's +1 from its own effect, +1 from Draconic, +1 from... It must be Spreading Flames as well. Yeah, it is. We are seeing the mask activated here, so it looks like we're probably going to go get something like a Lava Burst or something along those lines. This is a huge turn. Being able to clear both Gravy and Limpet, searching for that Lava Burst, and we still have that one card in hand as well, so we can use the Dragon Scalar Flight Paths to give this go again as well, and then if that is another 0 cost in hand for Trey, we can fire that off as well. So this could be what we're doing here. Obviously, we're just ticking up that Tunic as we forgot, which is fine in the league. That means nothing, of course. And this is a Shuko trigger. Spreading Flames as well coming in for 8 damage. That is a ridiculous amount of damage. So we've got the Shuko, the Spreading Flames, and the Rake Over the Coals, giving this additional 3 damage. That's ridiculous. And this still could be go again as well with the Dragon Scalar. We are seeing a block for 3 on that Avast Yi, but it looks like that is the end of the turn. And Trey commanding a pretty big life lead now. Happy just to put a card in the arsenal. Not overextend yet. Probably couldn't use that last. It'd be interesting to see what that arsenal card is if he could have played it this turn. But choosing just to bank it instead and overextend again on the following turn. We have got an 11 life lead now. All the allies have been cleared. Trey sitting in a pretty good position to keep up this pressure, as Gravy needs to establish some board state before the Draconic Ninja slices it away. Loot the Hold is played straight into the graveyard here, just because he didn't play it out onto the board, so we couldn't see it, but I did manage to catch it there on the audio when I edited the game post-production, and now we're seeing a Sawbones be played out. This is a pretty good ally, just allows you to prevent some pings here and there, but we are going to be swinging 4-6 with this ally. Very good rate on this attack, just costs 1 to attack of it for 6. It's a good ally to establish, protects you a little bit as well. But 1 for 6 attack is pretty good. Just allows you to prevent a little bit of damage for yourself and your allies as well. So if you can get multiple of these guys out. And it looks like we are going to be activating Gravy as an instant to draw a card and discard a card. We're going to discard that Sea Legs to get a Gold Kiss Rum on layaway for a future turn, which is pretty nice. Gold Kiss Rum, absolute amazing piece of design space. Similar to a Quicken, similar to a Agility, but it pops when you want it to, which is nice. Pirates obviously making the most of that rum, clearly. As we pass over to Trey's turn. What have we got here? We got a Tunic first of all, of course. That could make a lot of difference. And Trey obviously opted to take that damage to the face from the Sawbones earlier. And is now starting off with a Mounting Anger for 4 go again. Obviously if it hits you can banish a card with cost 1. It's equal to the number of Draconic Chain Links you control. Coming in for 4 with go again. Not sure whether this is coming at Sawbones or Liam's face, but it looks like we are going to throw caution to the wind and reveal a yellow. So we're going to be able to prevent 2 damage here. So we're taking 2, going down to 23. So Trey is very much going for Liam's face. Not respecting Sawbones right now, at least. As we follow up with the Searing Ember Blade coming in for 3 with Go Again. Pitching what looks like a Warmonger's Diplomacy, which is pretty good in this matchup. Just choosing to clear that Sawbones away. Obviously that 3 damage on the Searing Ember Blade is enough to even kill the Sawbones, even if they tap themselves to prevent 1 damage. And now we are seeing the Brand with Cinderclaw come in. That's coming in for 4. So that must have been banished from Mounting Anger then, I think. Unless I've missed something else there. But coming in for 4 nonetheless. Now we are going to be using the Tunic to gain a resource. And now we're coming in with a Dragon Power. Coming in for 5. Because of the Brand with Cinderclaw making the next attack Draconic. Which is a nice little synergy there. Dragon Power is a really, really good blue block 3, but obviously if you can turn it on with things like Brand with Cinderclaw, or not necessarily in this deck, but fealty tokens, it just becomes a really, really efficient card in general, so I'd love to see that. Dragon Power. Liam now at half the life total of Trey. Trey not arsenaling a card this turn by the looks of it though, so Liam now in a position to try and establish something else on the board. We are seeing a Golden Tipple be played here. Red version, discarding a Anchor, drawing a card, 2 floating. Coming in for 3 with Go Again, getting that gold, of course, from the ally discarded. Coming in for 3. Will Trey just continue to say no blocks? We're at double the life, so it makes sense. Looks like we are just going to be activating Gravy before the damage is dealt here to discard a Rigor Mortis into the graveyard as well. Looks like the Golden Tipple still, taking 3 damage. Now playing a Flying High. So the next blue attack this turn gets Go Again. And now we're coming in with Rigor Mortis. Going to tap the compass as well, just to have a look at the top card. We may as well do that. Coming in for 6 with Go Again. Not sure what could be following this though, if anything. We're just playing out the Flying High there to give it Go Again, aren't we, really? Because obviously it's the next blue attack, I think, is what happened there. But anyway, going back to Trey's turn, well, he just took that damage to the face, he didn't really care. But coming in for 2 with an Ignite, and of course this will reduce the next Draconic card you play or activate by 1. So just giving a little bit of ramp, and obviously that means that the Draconic Searing Ember Blade here comes in for just 1 resource for 3 with Go Again, which is pretty nice. 1 for 3, not bad. We are blocking that 3 with the Sea Legs. Now we're going to be following that up with a Fire Activation, which costs 1 because he only had 2 chain links there, but coming in for Fire Activation, Phoenix Flame for 1, Go Again. The Draconic Train never stops, just keeps coming in. Looks like we are going to be using the Quick Dodge flexes here to block out that 1 damage and leave 1 resource floating to potentially just block the next thing by 2 as well. Yep, a compounding anger coming in 4/5. We are going to be using that quick dodge to block another 2 and take 3 by the looks of it. Yep. Compounding anger is essentially another lava burst, isn't it, really? But it blocks for 3 as well, this one. Lava burst blocks for 2, I think, doesn't it? Costs nothing, if I remember correctly. But compounding anger is basically the same thing, as long as you've gone wide enough. Just a little bit different stats there, but you can still play it for 5. If you're stuck with it, it just costs a lot to obviously do that. But nice modal card. Let's over to Liam's turn now, who's sat on 12 life against 21. Looks like the players have it marked as 12-20 on the board, but I think it's 12-21, but we'll see if that makes a difference. It's a league that means nothing, after all. Mistakes can be made. Errors can still be had. But we're still coming in with a Conqueror of the High Seas, using that Dead Threads and the Loot the Hold to come in for 7, threatening the Arsenal, of course. Obviously, if the Arsenal is destroyed, Liam gets a gold token. You can see on the art of Conqueror of the High Seas the sheer size of that boat, absolutely about to consume the boat in front of it. Ridiculous. But yeah, it looks like Trey is just choosing to take all of the damage here and lose the Arsenal, going down to 14. Not quite sure what card we lost there, but Trey has taken that damage nonetheless. It looks like Liam actually has Trey on 23 life, but I think we've captured the life totals correctly in the edit anyway. But coming in with the Rising Resentment 4/3, obviously if it hits, you can banish an attack action card with cost less than 1. Obviously that gets a reduction as well if you do that, so a nice little card. So come in for 3 with Go Again for no cost, potentially ramp you a little bit to a certain degree. Trey is on the play, coming in hard and fast at Liam. Looks like we are blocking, taking some damage. And coming in with Fire Tenet Strike first, another 0 for 3, but obviously it buffs the next card by 1, which is pretty nice. Just going to be blocking that out with a tip, the Barkeep. Now we see the Searing Ember Blade come in for 3 again. Sorry, 4 with Go Again, because obviously the Draconic effect is still active from Fire Tenet. So coming in for 4. I think Trey is pretty happy with this position right now. Seeing cards come out of Liam's hand means that there's not much to establish, not much to crack back with, as he takes another 4, going down to 8. Although the players have it at 7, maybe there was a error somewhere in this game, but we'll see if it makes a difference. Looks like Liam's taken the damage from the Phoenix Flame. Now the Blaze Headlong coming in 4/4. Draconic Chains never end, do they? It just keeps going and going and going. Yeah, going down to 2. Looks like Liam's life has been represented correctly there on that side of things. At least that's what the edit says as well, so I trust in my ability to maybe keep score, maybe not, I don't know. But luckily it's a league that means nothing. Liam on 2, Trey on 14. as we go into Liam's turn here, holding 2 cards, I believe. We do have some gold, though, so if we do have a blue, we can just keep cracking gold, potentially, to try and dig, try and find something, float some resources. But we are going to compass, first of all. If we've got a blue in hand, we can crack the gold, draw the card that we've seen on top. If it's another blue, we can crack another gold, draw another card for free, potentially. Well, not for free, but then we net 2 resources and another card. So then the next gold would be free. So we could just do some digging if we need to, but looks like we are coming in with a Murderous Rabble, revealing a Throw Caution to the Wind. So coming in for 3 with Go Again. At this point, Trey hasn't cared about any damage this game, really, has he? Just taking it all to the face, going down to 11 here. And now we're seeing that Sawbones be established. And that is pretty much it for the turn, as it goes into Trey's turn here. On 11 life, looking to come in at Liam's face, looking to just do that 2 damage over the top now. And this is a great way to start. Oath of Loyalty, a 0 for 4 with Go Again. Can only be played if it's the first action, but that's fine. And Trey can only play Draconic cards this turn. But again, that's absolutely fine. No downside, right? Coming in for 4 with Go Again. Probably choosing to ignore the Sawbones right now. We are seeing a Gravy activation. Draw a card, then discard a card. We do have to get rid of a gold for that. So Liam does have to do that. Looks like that's been forgotten, unless I've missed that. But we are seeing a Sink Below, covering up that Oath of Loyalty completely cleanly, which is nice. And now we are coming in with the Searing Emberblade for 3 Go Again. 1 floating. Just asking Liam to consistently give cards. Dead Threads is still available to block as well, of course. We are going to be throwing Caution to the Wind yet again to prevent some damage. We are going to be activating Phi to get that Phoenix Flame back. Coming in for 1. And there's the Dead Threads block to cover up that pesky little 1 damage. Tunic still on 1. We can redeem that, but we are going to be Dragon Scalar Flight Pathing here. Which means we can attack again with the Draconic sword, the Searing Emberblade, which is pretty cool. Completely forgot that you could do that with that card. It allows you to swing the weapon again. That's really cool. I completely forgot about that. And of course, that buys another card from Liam's hand and allows Trey to just arsenal a card to potentially overextend for the win on the following turn, which is a nice little read on the game there from Trey, using that Dragon Scalar just to use that Searing Emberblade a second time to strip another card and allow him to overextend. We are seeing the Compass. One last look at the top of the deck for Liam by the looks of it. Here on table 22 for the League That Means Nothing. And we're just going to see that Sawbones being swung at Trey's face for 6. And he's just going to take that 6 and go down to 5. So 5 life for Trey. As we start with another Oath of Loyalty. That's what was arsenaled last turn. So that's why you couldn't play it last turn, because it could only be played at the start of the turn. But still, he had enough room to establish this in his arsenal and just lead off with it. Very, very good. And we are seeing the Sawbones and the Tip the Barkeep prevent all of that damage there from that 4 Go Again. Now, we can only play Draconic cards this turn. We are coming in with the Mounting Anger. Coming in for 4 with Go Again. Blocking for enough damage to not leak any damage. Searing Ember Blade for 3. And then whatever that card is left in hand looks like the card that's going to win the game here. Another tip the barkeep being blocked with. Liam now has no cards in hand, right? Phoenix Flame. For 1. Taking 1. Now the last card in 2. It's still got 2 cards left in hand here. We are going to Shuko is going to be active for this last card. Blood Drop. Wow, okay. Cost 1 less to play for each Draconic Chain that you control. Okay. And the Blood Drop looks like the card that gets the win here. Yep, absolutely. Wow. I've never seen Blood Drop be played before. But there we go. Congratulations to Trey Herring piloting Phi. Commiserations to Liam Blakeman playing Gravy. It is a hard deck to pilot, especially if you've been paired into a Draconic hero. But nonetheless, that's one of the matchups that unfortunately you are unfavoured into highly. But thanks again for watching The League That Means Nothing. I've been your host for today. My name's Az from Go Again Gaming YouTube channel, the whole creator and editor of this entire thing. It's a lot of work, The League That Means Nothing. I want to thank all my sponsors for this season. And if you do want to donate, the thing is up here. If you want to donate to the channel, you can by all means do that. All that money helps just motivate me, honestly, to keep doing this. Because it's a long haul. It's a lot of work and a lot of editing. For 15 games per round is a lot. So hope you're all enjoying it though, nonetheless. And we'll see you all over again very, very soon here on the channel, here on Go Again Gaming. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.